Tonight, imagine you are sitting alone beside a quiet ocean. The air is cool. The waves move slowly in the darkness. And somewhere far away, a ship disappears into the fog. For thousands of years, humans have looked at the ocean with the same feeling. Wonder, fear, curiosity. The sea has carried explorers across the world, hidden lost cities beneath its waves, and swallowed ships without leaving a trace. Even now, most of the ocean remains unexplored. Beneath the surface are mountains taller than the Alps, creatures that glow in complete darkness, and places so deep that no sunlight has ever touched them. So tonight, we are going to drift slowly across the oceans of history together. No rush, no loud moments, just quiet stories carried by the waves. And while the world sleeps, the ocean keeps moving. Slowly, endlessly, silently. Fact 1: most of Earth is ocean. Long before humans built cities, before roads, kingdoms, or written language, the oceans already ruled the planet. Today, about 70% of Earth is covered by water. From space, our world appears blue and calm, almost glowing in darkness. Ancient sailors did not know how large the oceans truly were. To many civilizations, the sea seemed endless. For thousands of years, people believed dangerous monsters lived beyond the horizon. Maps often showed giant serpents and sea dragons in unknown waters. The farther explorers traveled, the more mysterious the world became. Even now, humans have explored more of the moon's surface than the deepest parts of Earth's oceans. Much of the sea floor remains unmapped. And somewhere, far below the surface, underwater mountains rise silently in complete darkness. Fact 2: the ocean has underwater waterfalls. Deep beneath the ocean surface, strange things happen. In some places, cold salty water becomes heavier than the warmer water around it. When this happens near underwater cliffs, the dense water sinks downward like a waterfall. One famous underwater waterfall exists near Greenland. It is enormous, far larger than any waterfall on land. If a human could somehow stand nearby without danger, they would see massive rivers of cold water flowing silently into darkness. No crashing sounds, no mist, only the quiet movement of the deep sea. For centuries, sailors had no idea these hidden waterfalls existed beneath their ships. The oceans were keeping secrets, and many of those secrets still remain hidden today. Fact 3: ancient people feared the open sea. To ancient civilizations, the ocean was both useful and terrifying. The sea brought fish, trade, and travel. But it also brought storms, shipwrecks, disappearances, and uncertainty. Greek sailors prayed to Poseidon before voyages. Vikings respected the sea but feared its anger. Ancient Polynesian navigators crossed huge distances guided only by stars and waves. At night, sailors often believed spirits moved across the water. Strange lights sometimes appeared in storms. Today, we call this St. Elmo's fire. Electricity glowing around ship masts. But long ago, many believed it was supernatural. Imagine standing alone on a wooden ship in total darkness. No engines, no GPS, only wind, stars, and endless black water. It is easy to understand why the ocean inspired fear. Fact 4: the deepest place on Earth is in the ocean. Far beneath the Pacific Ocean lies the Mariana Trench. Inside this trench is Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on Earth. It reaches nearly 11 kilometers downward. If Mount Everest were placed inside the trench, the mountain's peak would still remain underwater. The pressure there is almost impossible to imagine. Thousands of times stronger than the pressure humans experience at sea level. Sunlight never reaches those depths. The water is cold, still, and completely dark. Only a few human beings have ever visited the bottom. When explorers descended into the trench, they described an alien world. A silent place where strange creatures survive despite conditions that seem impossible. Even now, scientists continue discovering new forms of life deep below. The ocean remains one of Earth's last great mysteries. Fact 5: the first great sailors were Polynesians. Thousands of years ago, Polynesian navigators crossed enormous stretches of ocean without modern tools. They traveled between islands scattered across the Pacific. Some journeys covered thousands of kilometers. These sailors memorized stars, ocean swells, bird movements, and cloud patterns. They understood the sea with incredible precision. At night, they studied constellations. During the day, they observed wave directions. Even the behavior of fish and seabirds helped guide them. European explorers later admired these navigators. Many could travel across open ocean with astonishing accuracy. Imagine floating across the Pacific in a wooden canoe beneath a sky full of stars. No engines. No maps. Only memory, experience, and trust in the ocean. Fact 6. There are mountains under the sea. The world beneath the ocean is not flat. Far below the waves are giant mountain ranges, deep valleys, volcanoes, and enormous cliffs. In fact, Earth's longest mountain range is underwater. It is called the Mid-Ocean Ridge. This underwater system stretches for more than 60,000 kilometers around the planet. Some peaks rise high enough to form islands. Others remain hidden forever beneath dark water. For centuries, humans knew nothing about these underwater mountains. Only in modern times did ships begin mapping the ocean floor. And even today, much of the underwater landscape remains unexplored. The oceans hide an entire world beneath them. Fact 7. Whales can communicate across huge distances. In the deep ocean, sound travels very efficiently. Because of this, whales can communicate across extraordinary distances. Blue whales produce low-frequency sounds that may travel hundreds of kilometers. Their calls move slowly through dark water like ancient songs. Some whale sounds are haunting and beautiful. Others are deep and mysterious. Sailors once heard strange noises beneath their ships and wondered if sea monsters were nearby. In reality, many of these sounds likely came from whales. For thousands of years, humans barely understood these creatures. Now scientists study whale songs carefully. Some whales even change their songs over time. Almost like evolving music drifting through the sea. Fact 8. Many ships were lost forever. Throughout history, countless ships disappeared beneath the ocean. Storms, pirates, icebergs, navigation mistakes, war. Wooden ships crossing dangerous waters often vanished without explanation. Families waited for sailors who never returned. Some wrecks remained hidden for centuries beneath sand and coral. Others still have not been found. The ocean preserves history in strange ways. Coins, pottery, weapons, and entire ships sometimes rest quietly on the sea floor. In cold deep water, certain wrecks survive remarkably well. They become underwater time capsules. Silent reminders of journeys long forgotten. Fact 9. The ocean glows at night. Sometimes the sea glows softly in darkness. This phenomenon is called bioluminescence. Tiny organisms create light through chemical reactions. When waves move or ships pass through the water, glowing blue patterns appear. Ancient sailors were amazed by these glowing seas. Some believed spirits or magic lived beneath the waves. In tropical waters, the effect can be breathtaking. Each movement creates shimmering light. Fish leave glowing trails. Waves sparkle beneath moonlight. The ocean can seem almost dreamlike at night. Quiet, dark, and glowing softly beneath the stars. Fact 10. Atlantis captured human imagination. One of the most famous lost cities connected to the ocean is Atlantis. The story first appeared in ancient Greek writings from Plato. He described a powerful island civilization that disappeared beneath the sea. For centuries, people searched for Atlantis. Some believed it was real. Others believed it was only a philosophical story. Many theories emerged. Some placed Atlantis in the Mediterranean. Others imagined it deep in the Atlantic Ocean. No confirmed evidence has ever been found. Yet the mystery continues. Humans remain fascinated by lost civilizations swallowed by the sea. Perhaps because the ocean itself feels mysterious, ancient, and unknowable. Fact 11. Ocean currents shape the planet. The oceans are always moving. Huge currents carry warm and cold water around Earth. These currents affect weather, climate, and sea life. One famous current is the Gulf Stream. It transports warm water across the Atlantic. Without it, parts of Europe would be far colder. Ancient sailors learned to use currents to travel faster. Navigators studied patterns carefully. The ocean is not still. It is constantly flowing. Like enormous rivers moving across the globe. Invisible pathways beneath the waves. Fact 12. Pirates were often miserable. Stories about pirates often sound adventurous. But real pirate life was harsh. Ships were crowded and dirty. Food spoiled quickly. Fresh water became scarce. Disease spread easily. Storms could destroy ships in hours. Battles were violent and dangerous. Still, piracy attracted many desperate sailors. Some escaped unfair treatment in navies or merchant fleets. Others searched for wealth. The Caribbean became famous for piracy during the 17th and 18th centuries. Yet many pirates lived short, difficult lives. The ocean was dangerous for everyone, even outlaws. Fact 13. There are lakes beneath the ocean. Deep below the sea, strange underwater lakes exist. These pools form when extremely salty water settles on the ocean floor. Because the water is denser, it remains separated from surrounding seawater. To submarines and cameras, these pools appear almost like ordinary lakes. Some even have shore-like edges. Creatures adapted to these environments survive in unusual ways. The deep ocean often resembles another planet. And scientists continue discovering ecosystems unlike anything on land. Fact 14. Ancient trade routes crossed the sea. Long before airplanes existed, oceans connected civilizations. Merchant ships carried silk, spices, gold, ceramics, and ideas between continents. The Indian Ocean became one of history's great trade networks. Arab, Indian, African, and Asian sailors traveled seasonal monsoon winds. Ports became wealthy cultural centers. Languages mixed. Religions spread. Stories traveled with merchants. The ocean did not separate humanity. In many ways, it connected it. Fact 15. Some waves are enormous. Most waves are harmless. But occasionally, the ocean creates giant rogue waves. These unexpected walls of water can rise far higher than surrounding waves. For centuries, sailors reported enormous waves appearing suddenly at sea. Some scientists doubted the stories. But modern instruments confirmed rogue waves are real. In powerful storms, the ocean can become unbelievably violent. Ships disappear. Water crashes across decks. Winds scream through darkness. And then eventually, calm returns. The sea becomes quiet once again. Fact 16. Octopuses are remarkably intelligent. Octopuses are among the ocean's most fascinating creatures. They can solve puzzles, open containers, and escape surprisingly small spaces. Their bodies are soft and flexible. They also change color rapidly using special skin cells. Ancient sailors sometimes feared giant octopus-like creatures. Legends of sea monsters may have originated from sightings of giant squid. Today scientists continue studying cephalopods. Their intelligence remains extraordinary. In dark underwater caves, octopuses move silently across rocks like shadows. Calm, curious, and strangely mysterious. Fact 17. The Titanic still rests in the Atlantic. In 1912, the Titanic struck an iceberg during its maiden voyage. The ship sank into the cold North Atlantic Ocean. More than 1,500 people died. For decades, the wreck remained hidden. Finally, in 1985, explorers discovered it deep beneath the ocean. The ship now rests in darkness nearly 4 kilometers below the surface. Rust slowly covers the wreck. Inside the remains are echoes of another era. Shoes, dishes, furniture, hallways once filled with passengers. The ocean preserved part of history in silence. Fact 18. Sea turtles navigate across oceans. Sea turtles travel astonishing distances. Some migrate thousands of kilometers between feeding grounds and nesting beaches. Scientists believe turtles use Earth's magnetic field to navigate. Even hatchlings somehow know which direction to swim. For millions of years, sea turtles crossed oceans long before humans built ships. Their journeys remain one of nature's quiet miracles. Fact 19. The ocean produces much of Earth's oxygen. Tiny ocean organisms called phytoplankton help produce a large portion of Earth's oxygen. Though microscopic, these drifting organisms are essential to life. Sunlight reaches the upper ocean layers. Phytoplankton use photosynthesis much like plants on land. Every breath humans take is connected in some way to the oceans. The sea supports life across the planet. Even far from shore. Fact 20. Some islands disappear. The ocean constantly reshapes coastlines. Storms, waves, and rising water gradually change islands over time. Some islands sink. Others erode away. Entire communities have relocated because the sea slowly reclaimed land. For ancient civilizations living near the ocean, the sea could appear powerful and unpredictable. One storm could change everything. And slowly, over centuries, the tides continued moving. Fact 21. Deep sea creatures look alien. Far below sunlight, strange creatures survive in darkness. Some fish create their own light. Others have enormous teeth or transparent bodies. Because food is scarce in deep waters, many animals evolved unusual adaptations. The anglerfish, for example, uses a glowing lure to attract prey. To humans seeing these animals for the first time, they often appear almost unreal. The deep ocean remains one of the strangest environments on Earth. Fact 22. Ancient sailors used the stars. Before compasses became common, sailors depended heavily on stars. Navigators memorized constellations and seasonal sky changes. The North Star became especially important in the Northern Hemisphere. It helped sailors determine direction during long voyages. Imagine standing on a quiet wooden deck beneath countless stars. The sea moving slowly below. The wind gentle against the sails. For centuries, this was how humans crossed oceans. Fact 23. Some ocean sounds remain unexplained. Scientists occasionally record mysterious underwater sounds. Most eventually receive explanations involving ice, earthquakes, animals, or geology. But some sounds remain uncertain for years. The ocean carries sound in unusual ways. A distant event may travel across vast stretches of water. This contributes to the ocean's mysterious atmosphere. Even with modern technology, the sea still surprises us. Fact 24. Coral reefs are incredibly complex. Coral reefs support enormous biodiversity. Though reefs occupy a relatively small part of the ocean, they provide habitat for countless species. Ancient sailors often feared reefs because ships could crash against hidden coral. Yet beneath clear tropical waters, reefs are vibrant ecosystems filled with movement and color. Fish weave through coral structures. Tiny creatures hide in narrow spaces. The reef becomes an underwater city. Fact 25. Humans once believed sea monsters were real. For much of history, people believed giant sea monsters inhabited the oceans. Old maps sometimes showed terrifying creatures attacking ships. Some legends probably originated from real animals. Whales, giant squid, large sharks. Storms and fog also distorted what sailors thought they saw. At sea, imagination grows powerful, especially during long, lonely voyages. And so the stories spread. Sea serpents, kraken, monsters beneath the waves. The ocean inspired both fear and wonder.